Welcome to FormSupreme.com. My name is Jussi Tarvainen, and in this episode from Fear to Freedom, you'll discover the reason why 99% of people never overcome their fears and how you can be part of the 1% who actually gets to overcome their fears and reach true freedom. So this is probably going to be the most important information you're going to learn about fears all day, and I never would have become a pro if I hadn't overcome the obstacles you'll discover in this episode. And to be honest, that's where most people get stuck with and never progress to the next level. So I'm guessing that you're here for a good reason. And you're smart to commit your time to watch through this episode, because that single thing gets you ahead of most action sport athletes, whether you snowboard, skateboard, surf, or do parkour or free running, or any other extreme sports. But of course, just watching through this is not enough. So let's jump in and I'll share you the insights with you. Fear holds most action sport athletes back from reaching their full potential. So fear is the number one thing that holds most people back from doing what they love. Most action sport athletes face fear every day, and some are able to overcome it and progress to the next level, where some get stuck with it. And if you can't make yourself mentally to try a trick, then it can get really frustrating and feel like desperate, because there's some invisible force holding you back. Unfortunately, most people never learn these special step-by-step techniques to overcome fears, build confidence, and learn faster and safer. And I'm here to change that. I want to make a difference to that. So 3 major obstacles why most people can't ever overcome their fears. So I've discovered that there are these 3 major obstacles that hold most people back from ever overcoming their fears. Number 1, most people don't even know that it's possible to overcome their fears, which of course doesn't mean that it's impossible. They've just never found out the mental techniques to do it. Number 2, most people are too stubborn or too proud to ask for help, and I know that because I did it. I did it myself. People think they're somehow more respected or better if they do it by themselves, and that's the biggest mistake of all, because it just leads to frustration and super slow progress and usually getting injured and giving up altogether. Number 3, for most action sport athletes, it's more important to stay in their comfort zone than to step by step get out of their comfort zone and overcome their fears and reach the full freedom and confidence to do what you've always wanted. So really learn to expand your comfort zone, because that's where learning happens. When you do something unfamiliar, something new and unknown, it's natural to feel some discomfort and know that getting comfortable with being outside your comfort zone is the key to learning fast. And there's a bunch of different mental techniques and tricks to use to control your emotions, but that's a whole nother subject, and there's so many things to discover that we're not going to cover them in this episode, but in the future we will. So a couple of weeks ago, I made an interview with amazing free runner and parkour athlete, Jesse LaFleur. And one of the things he said was, quote, "Take calculative risks if you are going to take risks at all," end quote. So let's look at how you can overcome your fears. Number 1, learn the exact techniques you can use to overcome different fears, from fear of getting injured to fear of making mistakes and failing, etc. Then put the techniques into practice and use them actively until they become something you just automatically do and don't have to even think about it. I would have never overcome my fears and become a pro unless I had figured out the mental tricks, how to build confidence, how to learn new tricks faster, and how to overcome my fears. And I never would have been able to successfully teach others how to do it unless I hadn't invested my time, money, and effort to figuring it out. So you are ahead of most people because, it's possible to overcome fears. You may just not know yet how to actually do that. And all you gotta do now is learn the skills and put them into practice. So get the knowledge and apply it to build the skills. Number 2, the fact that you're here, that tells me that you're smart because you aren't afraid to ask for help. And that's the key. Fastest way to learn is to learn from someone who's actually done it and who has successfully taught others to do it as well. And it applies to any skill. And that's why I always jump straight into training when I want to learn a new skill, and that's just a way faster way to learn. Number 3, get out of your comfort zone step by step. Fear usually comes up when you try to take a leap of faith, and it's like playing Russian roulette where the stakes are too high. So take the smallest step to expand your comfort zone, and keep taking really tiny steps until you suddenly just notice that you've overcome your fear, because the steps you took were so small that the fear never had the chance to even come up. So key to progress is small, gradual steps. And if you want to do a new trick, find out the steps you need to take to get to that skill level first before attempting it. That's how you minimize discomfort, yet you make consistent progress fast and safe. So if you've read through my free mental training guide and been watching through my other videos and articles and podcasts, and you've put into use what I showed you, then you're already on your way and you're progressing, and you know how crucial learning the key mental techniques is if you want to overcome your fears. Now the question is, are you willing to take small steps and feel a bit uncomfortable so you can overcome your fears step by step and learn new tricks faster and build your confidence to get to that next level? Because if you're not, then this isn't the right thing for you. When you are ready, the next question is, are you fully committed to take action so you can learn these skills and reach your full freedom? So let's look at the next step. So if you are serious about learning new tricks and progressing to the next level, then it's my pleasure to share the secrets it took me over a decade to discover and learn. And I had to struggle with my fears too. I wasn't born as a pro, and I was never talented at anything really. I had fear of getting injured, and I hesitated and froze and doubted my abilities. And I definitely didn't want to make mistakes and fail because, to be honest, I hated getting embarrassed and laughed at. And I was always super nervous when I trained in public and in front of other people, and my knees felt like jelly because of the pressure from contests, and it was way too much for me at the beginning, until one day everything kind of changed when I discovered that I could improve my mental game by learning these specific techniques and build the strength and skills of my mind. So if you haven't yet signed up for my newsletter, then I recommend that you do that first, so I can send you my mental training guide, 5 big mistakes most action sport athletes make, and I'll send it to you for free. Then read through it and put into action what you learn from it. And you can just use the form below or at the bottom of this page, or if you're watching this anywhere else but formsupreme.com, you'll find the links in the description to join. So sign up for my newsletter and I'll send you the training guide PDF right away. And also, when you join in for my newsletter, you'll get to be part of the special community who get exclusive content only available for the members, and you get a backstage access to ask me questions and ask questions from the pros that I interview. Plus, you get all kinds of other goodies available for the insiders. All right, so let's recap what you learned. So these are the key things that I want you to remember from this episode. Number 1, fear stops most action sport athletes from ever reaching their full freedom to do what they've always wanted. And mastering your mental game is the answer to your challenges. Number 2, 99% of people never overcome their fears because they don't ever find out that it's actually possible to get over them. Number 3, most people are too stubborn or too proud to ask for help. Number 4, most action sport athletes don't understand that the key is learning to be comfortable with your discomfort and take small, gradual steps to progress fast and consistently. Number 5, if you're really committed now, the next step for you to take is to learn and practice the mental techniques and mindsets to overcome your fears. Build your confidence and, learn new tricks faster and safer. So in other words, learn to master your mental game. So just by watching this episode, you're ahead of most people. And remember, the only way to learn is to take action and actually do it. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode from fear to freedom. Next time I got a few surprises waiting for you. So make sure you sign up for the newsletter and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, and if you want to be able to, be first to know when I broadcast the next episode. All right, really appreciate your time and attention. So please go ahead, click like, share, subscribe, and all the other good stuff, and leave your comments and questions below because I can't wait to hear from you. And I'm always happy to help you out and help out committed athletes. Oh, and if you're watching this anywhere else but formsupreme.com, make sure you head over there because that's where all the action happens. That's where you get to be part of the community and don't get left out of all the good stuff. I'm Jussi Darvainen, and thanks for your support. Have fun, train safe, and see you at formsupreme.com.